Hello class! Welcome back to our channel. So for today's video, our topic is all about the intercepts, zeros, and asymptotes of irrational functions. Okay, so first, define muna natin ano ba yung intercepts and zeros of rational functions. So the intercepts of the graph of a rational function are the points of intersection of its graph and an axis. Okay, so since may dalawa tayong axis sa ating Cartesian plane, the y-axis and the x-axis. Tama? So, yung point of intersection ng ating graph kay y-axis, ang tawag natin doon guys ay y-intercept. Okay? Then, yung point of intersection naman ng ating graph and ng ating x-axis, yun naman yung ating x-intercept. Nakuha? So, to find the y-intercept, just simply evaluate the function at x equals 0. So, ibig sabihin, makukuha natin guys yung coordinate ng ating y-intercept pag sinet natin yung value ni x to 0. Okay? Then, to find the x-intercept naman, just equate the function to 0. So, since alam naman natin na si f of x and y is parehas lang naman yan, guys, no? So, dito, isa-set natin si y to 0. Then, makukuha na natin ngayon yung coordinate ng ating x-intercept. Nakuha? Then, last is yung ating zeros of a function. So, these are the values of x which make the function 0. Okay? So, the numbered zeros are also the x-intercepts of the graph of the function. Ibig sabihin, parehas lang sila ng location, yung ating zeros of a function at saka yung x-intercept doon sa ating Cartesian plane. Okay, so check natin yung graph. So, as you can see guys, yung color green, ito yung graph ng ating function. Okay? So, yung point of intersection ni x-axis at ni nung ating graph, dyan natin makikita yung ating x-intercept and 0 of the function. Okay? Then, yung point of intersection naman nung ating graph and ni y-axis, dyan naman natin malolocate yung ating y-intercept. Nakuha guys? So, let's have our first example. Find the x and y-intercepts of the following rational functions. So, letter A, we have f of x equals 3 minus x all over x plus 1. So, dito guys, pwede nating i-rewrite yung ating function to y equals 3 minus x over x plus 1. Okay? So, unahin natin kunin si x-intercept. So, sabi din sa procedure kanina, so, para makuha natin yung coordinate ng ating x-intercept, kailangan i-equate natin si y to 0. Okay? So, try natin. So, this time, substitute natin yung value ni y na 0 doon sa ating equation. So, meron tayong 0 equals 3 minus x over x plus 1. Tama? So, next is simplify natin yung ating equation to solve for x. So, pwede tayong mag-cross multiply dyan. Meron tayong 0 over 1. So, by cross multiplication, so 0 times x plus 1, that is 0. Then 3 minus x times positive 1, that is 3 minus x. Tama? Then solving for x guys, pwede nating i-transfer si x dito sa left side ng ating equation. So from negative, magiging positive. Okay? So this time may value na tayo ni x which is positive 3. So therefore, ang ating x-intercept is may coordinate na 3, yung value ng ating x, 0, yung sinet nating value ni y. Nakuha guys? So next is yung ating y-intercept naman. So, sabi dun sa definition kanina, kailangan iset natin si x to 0. Okay? So, ang next step natin is i-substitute si x dito sa ating equation, then solve for the value of y. So, try natin. Meron tayong y equals 3 minus x. So, dito magiging 3 minus 0 na yan. Since yung x natin is 0, over x plus 1. Okay? So, that is 0 plus 1. So, simplify natin to guys. So, 3 minus 0, that is 3 over 0 plus 1. This is 1. Then, divide natin. 3 divided by 1. So, ang y natin is equals to positive 3. Nakuha? So, therefore, ang location ng ating y-intercept is yung x natin, which is 0, comma y, which is positive 3. Nakuha, guys? So, let's have another example. Number 2. So, dito guys, ang f of x natin is equals to x square minus 3x plus 2 all over x square minus 4. Okay? So, again, pwede nating i-rewrite yung ating function to y equals x square minus 3x plus 2 all over x square minus 4. Tama? So, una, solve natin yung ating x-intercept by equating y to 0. Okay, so substitute natin yan dun sa ating equation. So, meron tayong 0 equals x square minus 3x plus 2 all over x square minus 4. Okay? So, since meron tayong 0 sa left side, so pwede nating i-rewrite yan to 0 over 1. Then, pwede tayong mag-cross multiply para i-simplify yung ating equation. Tama? So, multiply natin. X square minus 3x plus 2 times 1. So, meron tayong x square minus 3x plus 2 equals 0 times x square minus 4. So, that is 0. Tama? So, since meron tayo guys na trinomial or quadratic equation, so to solve for x, pwede tayong mag-apply ng factoring method. Okay? So, since by factoring, yung x square minus 3x plus 2 natin, is parehas lang yan guys ni x minus 2 times x minus 1 equals 0. Tama? Then, solve for x. So, pwede nating i-apply yung ating zero product property. So, i-equate natin si x minus 2 to 0. So, ang value ng x natin dito is equals to positive 2. Tama? Then, equate natin si x minus 1 to 0. Then, solve for x. Ang value ni x dito is equals to positive 1. Okay, so kung mapapansin nyo, meron tayong dalawang x-intercepts. Yung isa, x equals 2. Yung isa naman, x equals 1. But, okay, so dito guys, medyo i-take note nyo to. But by looking at the denominator of the original function, so ang denominator natin dito is x square minus 4. Tama? So, pag sinubstitute natin si positive 2 dito sa ating f of x, magkakaroon tayo ng 0 denominator. Tama? So, therefore, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin si x equals 2. Okay? So, ano lang yung pipiliin nating x-intercept? Ang x-intercept lang na gagamitin natin dito, guys, is yung x equals 1. Okay? Ito lang. So, ang coordinate natin dyan, meron tayong 1, 0. Nakuha, guys? So, next is yung ating y-intercept naman. So, kay y-intercept, isa-set lang natin si x equals 0. Tama? So, substitute natin yan, guys, dito sa ating equation. So, meron tayong y equals, so x square, so that is 0 square, minus 3x. So we have 3 times 0 plus 2 all over x squared. So that is 0 squared minus 4. Okay? So dito, pwede natin i-cancel na to. So ang maiiwan lang sa atin is yung y equals 2 over negative 4. Okay? Or pag sinimplify natin yan guys, meron tayong y equals negative 1/2. So ito na ngayon yung ating y-intercept. Okay? So ano yung coordinate ng ating y-intercept? Meron tayong x which is 0. Then ang value ng ating y is negative 1/2. Nakuha guys? So let's have another example. So but this time, we are asked to determine the zeros of the following rational functions. Okay? So kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, na yung zero ng ating rational function is same lang nung ating x-intercepts. Tama? So yung procedure natin is halos parehas lang. So try natin. So, dito guys, para makuha natin yung zeros ng ating rational function, i-equate lang natin si numerator to 0. Okay? So, pag na-equate na natin si numerator to 0, solve for x. So, pwede nating ilipat si negative 2 sa right side ng ating equation. So, that is x equals positive 2. Okay? So, therefore, ito na yung 0 ng ating g of x. Nakuha guys? So, next, letter B, we have g of x is equals to x squared plus x minus 2 over x squared minus 4. So, dito guys, bago natin iset yung ating numerator to 0, ang una nyong gagawin is isi-simplify muna natin yung ating function. Okay, so try nating i-simplify. So, i-factor natin yung ating numerator, yung x squared plus x minus 2. So, by factoring, alam naman natin na yan ay same lang ni x plus 2 over x times x minus 1. Tama? All over. Factor natin si x squared minus 4. So, that is x plus 2 and x minus 2. Okay? So, ngayon guys, we can cancel out x plus 2. So, ang bago nating function is equals to x minus 1 over x minus 2. Okay, ngayon, nakasimplify na yung ating function. So, pwede na nating iset yung ating numerator to 0 to solve or to determine the zeros of the rational function. Okay, so try natin. We have x minus 1 equals 0. Then solve for x, that is x equals positive 1. Okay, so ito na yung 0 ng ating g of x. Nakuha ba guys? So, ngayon, punta tayo kay asymptotes. So, define natin si asymptote. An asymptote is an imaginary line to which a graph gets closer and closer as the x or y increases or decreases its value without limit. Okay, so may dalawang klase tayo ng asymptote sa video ito. Una, meron tayong vertical asymptote. Then, yung pangalawa naman is horizontal asymptote. Okay, so focus muna tayo guys kay vertical asymptote. So, the vertical line x equals a is a vertical asymptote of a function f if the graph increases or decreases without bound as the x values approach a from the right or left. Okay, so tignan niyo yung illustration dito guys sa may baba. So, dito guys, ito yung ating vertical asymptote. Okay, itong line na to. Then, yung dalawang curves, yan yung graph ng ating function. Okay, so as you can see from the left, yung graph ng ating function is approaching doon sa ating vertical asymptote. Okay, so dito guys, palapit lang siya ng palapit pero hindi siya magta-touch doon sa ating vertical asymptote. Okay, same dun guys sa may kanan. From the right, yung graph natin is palapit lang ng palapit doon sa ating vertical asymptote pero hindi siya magta-touch doon. Okay? So yan yung ibig sabihin ng ating vertical asymptote. Ngayon, paano ba siya kinukuha? So sabi dito, to determine the vertical asymptote of a rational function, first, reduce the given function to simplest form. Okay? Then, pag nakuha na natin yung simplest form ng ating rational function, sabi dyan, find the zeros of the denominator that are not zeros of the numerator. Ibig sabihin, i-equate lang natin guys yung ating denominator to 0. Okay? So, let's try our examples. So, determine the vertical asymptote of each rational function. Okay? So, letter A, we have f of x is equals to x minus 1 over x plus 5. So, dito guys, ang zeros ng ating numerator, observe nyo lang, or by inspection, yung zero ng ating numerator is 1. Tama? Pagka sinet natin si x equals 1, magiging 0 yung ating numerator. Sa denominator naman, ang zeros ng ating denominator dito is x equals negative 5. Tama? Pag sinet natin si x by negative 5, yung denominator natin na x plus 5, magiging negative 5 plus 5, which is 0. Okay? So, therefore, since magkaiba yung 0 ng ating numerator and denominator, yung ating vertical asymptote is x equals negative 5. Okay? So, ito yung ating sagot dito sa letter A. So, next, letter B. So, sa letter B natin, guys, meron tayong f of x equals x plus 2 all over x plus 1 times x minus 4. Okay? So, una, identify muna natin yung zeros ng ating numerator and denominator. So, dito guys, sa numerator, meron tayong zeros na x equals negative 2. Tama? Sa denominator naman, since may dalawa tayong factor, so ang zeros ng ating denominator is x equals negative 1 dito sa ating x plus 1. Sa x minus 4 naman, ang zeros niya naman ay x equals 4. Tama? So, since magkaiba yung zeros ng ating denominator doon sa ating numerator, so therefore, ang vertical asymptote natin dito is x equals negative 1 and x equals 4. So, dalawa. Okay, so naintindihan ba guys yung ating vertical asymptote? Ngayon, proceed tayo guys kay horizontal asymptote. So, the horizontal line y equals b is a horizontal asymptote of the function f if f of x get closer to b as x increases or decreases without bound. So, dito guys, technically, ang difference lang ng ating horizontal asymptote kay vertical asymptote is yung asymptote natin dito is horizontal line. Okay? Kanina, meron tayong vertical line. Nakuha guys? So, paano ba natin makukuha yung ating horizontal asymptote? So, dito guys, sabi, to determine the horizontal asymptote of a rational function, just compare the degree of the numerator n and the degree of the denominator d. Okay? So, may dalawa tayong degrees dito. Degree ng numerator, yun yung ating variable n, and yung degree ng denominator, yung variable d. Okay, ano ba yung degree? Yun yung highest exponent na nag-e-exist doon sa ating polynomial. Okay? So, sabi dito guys, if the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator, the horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. Okay? Next, if the degree of the numerator is equal to the degree of the denominator, sabi dito, the horizontal asymptote y is the ratio of the leading coefficient of the numerator, okay, and the leading coefficient of the denominator. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating ratio, yan yung naka-fraction. Okay? Yung a is the leading coefficient ng ating numerator, then yung b naman is the leading coefficient ng ating denominator. Next, yung pangatlong rules natin dito, if the degree of the numerator is greater than to the degree of the denominator, there is no horizontal asymptote. Nakuha guys? So, let's have our examples. So, determine the horizontal asymptote of each rational function. So, letter A, f of x is equals to 3x plus 8 over x squared plus 1. So, dito guys, by inspection, okay, as you can see na yung degree ng ating numerator is equals to 1. Kung mapapansin nyo, walang exponent yung ating variable. Tama? Pagka walang exponent, understood yun na 1. Okay? Then, yung degree naman ng ating denominator is equals to 2. Yun yung highest exponent dito sa ating polynomial. Okay? So, the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. Tama? So, therefore, the horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. Nakuha guys? So, next is letter B. Letter B, we have f of x equals 3 plus 8x squared all over x squared plus 1. So, dito guys, by inspection, you will notice na yung degree ng ating numerator is equals to 2. Yun yung highest exponent. And yung degree ng ating denominator is also positive 2. Tama? So, ibig sabihin, makukuha natin guys yung ating horizontal asymptote is nandoon sa yun yung ratio nung kanilang leading coefficient. Okay? So, ano ba yung leading coefficient ng ating numerator? So, dito ang leading coefficient is positive 8. Sa denominator naman, ang leading coefficient is yung positive 1. Tama? So, ang horizontal asymptote natin is y equals 8. Nakuha guys? So, by the way, ang leading coefficient is yung coefficient nung ating variable na merong highest exponent. Okay? So, next, letter C, we have g of x equals 8x cubed minus 1 all over 1 minus x squared. So, dito guys, ang degree ng ating numerator is equals to positive 3. Then, ang degree ng ating denominator is positive 2. So, since the degree of the numerator is greater than the degree of the denominator, so, therefore, there is no horizontal asymptote. Nakuha, guys? So, this is the end of our video. I hope naintindihan nyo, guys, kung paano ba natin kinukuha si x and y-intercepts. At the same time, yung ating zeros ng rational function and yung ating asymptotes. So, if you have questions or clarifications, kindly put them in the comment section below. So, thank you guys for watching. This is Prof D. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!